Welcome to the Witching Hour podcast with your host, John Roysland.
All right.
Boys and girls, welcome back to the Witching Hour podcast. I am your host. You like that one? Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. John Roysland here with your Christmas special edition. Returning to my little studio of hell, Mr. PJ Starks, Mr. Eric Huskisson. We're here today to talk about the highly anticipated, finally released New Year's Eve. Gentlemen, welcome back. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Hey,
Merry Christmas
yeah,
to
thanks
you.
for having us. Great to
Seems
be here.
Yeah, it seems like we were just talking recently. It doesn't seem like that long ago.
I know.
Yeah,
it was
kind of strange.
just the other day.
We're always like that. Hey, no,
That's
but
right.
seriously, congratulations on the release of New Year's Eve.
Thank you.
Great film, a lot of fun. Obviously, it looks like you guys even had a lot of fun. Just from watching the final product. Obviously, I've watched a lot of the movie growth as you guys have been posting it through post-production and during the filming and so forth. And it just looks like a really fun film that you guys have put out. A new holiday slasher, so to speak, for everybody. And it is now being now streaming officially. Congratulations on Screenbox. Ratings for it's in the top 6, top 10 most viewed, most popular films. It looks great, and I am here to talk about the movie, let you guys blab all about it. I'm just here to congratulate you and fondle your Christmas.
Thank you. We'll take it and the jazz
Yeah.
hands.
And there you
Yeah,
go.
thank you. And on top of the Screenbox, it's actually got 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb right now, with about 460. Yeah, what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
This
pretty
is
sure you
starting
called
out
it
really
IMDb.
well.
Interview.
We
Yeah.
also called it IMDb too. So it's it's a European version.
So
What's
the
that?
movie finally got released. You
Yes,
guys got to be finally wiping the brow. It's finally been done. Contracts are signed. The final final product is in their hand. Everyone can now finally see it. How does that make you feel?
I feel awesome.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stress over the last 6 to 8 months, the back and forth, like you were saying, with the contractual things, the agreements, and Eric does a lot more of the business side. By proxy, I have to. I hate the business side. I'm not saying he loves it, but it's like a lot of that stuff is a headache, and you start to kind of get to a point where you're asking yourself, is anybody even going to fucking care by the time this movie comes out? Because, we shot it back in 23, and then, of course, it had the festival run and everything, which was great. And then finally, when you get to the point where it's like, you finally found what you think is going to be a great home, which that's exactly where it should have been, was, in the hands of Cineverse. It found a really good place. And, but just the back and forth, the rigmarole of all that, it was a lot of stress. And then, but we're finally at that point where we're like, okay, now it's out.
Yeah.
Now we can relax. But there's more stress because we still have to work on the Blu-rays. And then, of course, we want it to do well. So there's the anxiety of that. How is it going to be received? How, are people going to care? And so far,
we just got off the phone
feedback
talking.
we've been getting has been really positive. Eric, shut up and let me finish.
Well, I never know when you're going to finish because you ramble on for an hour for a 1-minute question. Yeah, take a drink. You're going to need it. But yeah, we just like you said, going forward, we just got off the phone trying to get the movie out there internationally as well, which is something the other 3 that we've done have just happened in the last year, starting to get on there. But we're trying to push this up front. And you said in the beginning about it looked like a lot of fun to make.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was a blast to make, but this movie had a lot of stress with it. Just like the last 6 to 8 months trying to get this contract. The movie was really stressful, mostly in the beginning with the party we had and the first big weekend we had with Dave, Felissa, Hannah, and Jeffrey all here trying to get all that in. It was a blast to make, but it wasn't without stress going along. Trust me.
So, PJ, I had spoken to you once. The film was done, but you were, as you had mentioned, final colorization. The slightest things that maybe some people might not consider, might not know about, might not even understand. And I don't say that to be rudely, uh, putting it out there to the public. You've sent me different levels of screeners throughout the years, and you're like, this isn't the final product. I got to tweak this and the color and sound and this and that. And I watch it and I'm just like waiting for, cigarette burns or for it to go black and white in one part or no sound at all or everything is muffled. And it looks perfect to me. And you're like, oh, that's not done. Don't judge it by that. And so to watch it now, because you sent me an advanced screener to it, and I appreciate that as always. And then to watch that, and then to watch it again on being streaming, you really start to pick up on small details that you really wouldn't have noticed ahead of time in a more technical aspect. And I'm kind of getting off the subject of the film itself, but I really want to thank you for teaching me something about that I never would have known in my life. But what level of that added to the movie's done? Now we got to edit it. And it's not like when I edit a video here, I just kind of do a fade in, fade out, make things look pretty and add my logo here and there and so forth and put a thumbnail of you guys on the front. How much time does it normally take to finalize in editing a movie?
I mean, really, it kind of depends on what the factors are that are involved with the process of actually finishing the movie. Typically, in the past, on our other productions, I've done the editing. I've done a majority of the editing, and then usually, if it's our segments, like with 13 Slaves Till Christmas, it was a bit different because there were so many different hands on the project.
Right.
But like with Volumes of Blood 1 and 2, I did all the editing, did a majority of the color correcting, audio, and all that. And the reality is, like, my expertise only goes so far. There's always somebody out there that's better and more proficient at whatever the process is than I am. So going into New Year's Eve, the project just felt different from the beginning. So once I got through the initial edit, originally I was supposed to do the color correction, the audio, but what we always want to do is try to take things to the next level if we can. So working with Jeffrey through the post-production process, he had suggested a colorist and a sound designer for us to send the movie to have it professionally colored and a professional sound mix done. So what you're seeing versus what maybe you saw originally was definitely like before the film was fully colored, before a sound mix was fully done, because what you're looking at now, whenever you watch it on Screambox or Fandango at home, is the movie ultra high definition and also the colorized version. And so it was somebody who knew exactly how to do it, and they're doing it by industry standards. And then, of course, they did a 5.1 surround mix. So the audio you're hearing is all these multiple channels. And I'm not saying I can't do something like that, but there would be a learning curve. I'd have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But as with any production, your movie is only good as the sum of its parts. So to be successful, you have to network and you have to collaborate with people that are better than yourself. That's the whole purpose of like giving up the reins and responsibilities to other people. And so by giving it to someone who is better at it than I am is only going to make the movie look and sound and be a better product. So that's why when you look at it now, it looks so much better from a color standpoint. It sounds crisp and perfect, whereas if you listen to the audio on like 13 Slaves Till Christmas, I cringe when I listen to it because there's so many. Even if it's something that maybe you don't necessarily pick up on from a technical standpoint, I'm picking up on it and it makes me want to throw up. So we don't really have that with this, thankfully, and that's because we sent the movie off to be done
Right.
more professionally.
Right. Well, job well done. And I
Thank you.
hope that when you saw the finished product, when it came back to you from both parties that you sent it out to, you looked at it and were just in awe and were that much happier.
Oh, we were when
Yeah.
Eric and I got finished, or like when we got the movie back
Mhm.
and we finally sat down to watch it, we were both just blown away by how much it pops now that the color was. What's really funny was when Eric, where were we going when we stopped at Carrie's house?
Chicago.
Okay, so we were headed to the Chicago Horror Film Festival, which would have been its first official public screening. We had not watched the movie on a big screen with an audience yet. And we stopped at Eric's cousin's house, and he's got like an ultra high definition 4K TV. And I brought that version of the movie with us just in case as a backup.
Sure.
And when we sat down to watch it on his TV, even Eric and I were like, holy shit, like this looks like a studio film. Like it even floored us how good it looked and how good it sounded. So it definitely made it more exciting for us, having been there from, conception to completion. And there were a lot of things along the way. I mean, there were obviously, like Eric had said, there were a lot of stressors, but there were a lot of great, like, oh man, moments throughout the process of making this movie. And yeah, we're just that, and that's one of the feedback that, or even in there's been several reviews that have come out, and even they have mentioned like how great it looks and
and
how cinematic it looks.
And that's just it. I know that there are many multiple levels and tiers of indie films, from a phone to high production. And
Right.
sorry, yours is teetering on that. It's no longer even in the indie realm, because it does. You sit down and you look at it, you
thank you.
watch it, and it honestly feels like you are watching it came off of a studio film.
Oh, thank you.
It really
I mean,
does. It's
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
no,
I
honestly,
mean, that's
Wow,
what
that's
we're
crazy.
going for. And
Right.
like I worked a lot with Alex
Mhm.
because I'm very visual. It's what I do for my job. So when I'm writing the script, I'm seeing all the shots in my head as I'm going through the movie. But all the credit goes to Alex because ultimately he's the one who's behind the camera. He's the one who's doing all the visuals, even though maybe I'll work with him and say, this next scene needs to be shot like this, or this portion of dialogue needs to be shot like this. But he put a lot of his own input on it as well. So our director of photography, Alex Clark, he's incredibly talented. So I give him all the credit when it's all said and done, because he's the one he's the one running the camera at the end of the day.
Well, major props to the entire crew that helped you put this together. I am sorry for having been talking so much about behind the scenes and so forth. I am just overly impressed with it, and honestly want to congratulate you guys on a
Thank
job
you.
well done. But
Thank you very much.
let's dive into the film itself. I love the outfit of our villain. I just the whole dynamic of it. You worry about some films, a lot of horror movies right now, they got maybe great gore or a couple with some great dialogue, good story, but you got a lot of slow burns in between one scene and the other. And you guys were able to make this flow nice and smooth, and there was no downtime to it. And I really like that. It kind of kept you wondering a little bit. The humor in it was great. Congratulations, PJ, for coming out in public in the film with top quality production at that. With that being said, um, you mentioned the film festival, and I know that it got great reviews. Since the movie is now streaming, have you heard from more people that you know personally or just fan base saying about the film?
Yeah, I mean, since the movie came out, I've had quite a few
Yeah,
people
because we
reach
know
out to
everybody
me.
can now watch it as opposed
Right.
to a select few. It's now
Right.
open to the public. Like I said, it was a highly anticipated film, and I'm just wondering what feedback you two might have been getting from it now that it is available for everyone to watch.
Right. I mean, I've gotten several messages and text messages from people, and so far all the feedback has been really positive. I was actually talking to somebody right before this. They had just finished watching the movie, and they were telling me about, how great it was, kind of the same praise, how great it looked, and how funny it was, and their favorite kills. Felissa's death is one of their top ones. The Kildo
Yeah,
scene
he has a voiceover in the film as well.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's at the very beginning of the film. But I mean, I've gotten multiple messages from people who have nothing to do with the project, and it's all been positive. And then actually, it's Hannah Fearman, she's in the film, she hadn't seen the movie,
Mhm.
ended up texting Eric and I both, and was going on and on about how much she thoroughly enjoyed it, how fun the movie was, and that was really great because I mean, she was fantastic in the movie. She put a lot of hard work into it. She really brought her A game to the project, and when someone, especially like one of the name actors that you have in the film, like you really hope that they enjoy, even if they said, "Hey, I had a great time while I was on set," you still want them to like the movie that they were in.
Of course.
And Felissa has texted me and told me how much she loved the movie. Um, so yeah, it's everybody who has been a part of it, who's seen it, has had a lot of great things to say. And then I've gotten random messages from people that weren't attached with the film, and they've all said very similar things. So it's been very validating.
No, you guys were able to balance the suspense, the horror, the thrill, the comedy. I hate comparing movies. I really do, because I don't want anybody, a filmmaker, to say, "Are you fucking kidding me? I hate that whole entire series or that one movie that you just mentioned." I'm going to say, okay, I hope you don't exit this right away. It has a Scream feel.
That's a great compliment. I don't know why you would think we would
Yeah.
leave.
Some people are not Scream fans.
Well,
Well, some people are crazy.
With that being said, folks, I don't want you to think that anybody's ripping Scream off, because that's not it at all. What I'm trying to get at is that these two gentlemen were able to connect a story and add all the basics for a great film. You've got adventure, you've got character driven, you've got the thrill, the gore, the horror, you've got comedy, and you were able to twist it with a little bit of who done it, because there's a couple parts. It's got to be that guy. No, shit, he was right there. No, it's got to be that.
I think that's
And it
that's
keeps
one
you
of the
there.
biggest questions we've gotten.
I was going to ask, even now that it is open to the public, how many people have watched it through and through and are still saying, "So who was it?"
There, you would not believe the amount of people that come up to us. Oh, we loved your film. It was great. Loved everything about it. The gore was on point. Loved the acting. Storyline was great. But I got a question. Who's the doctor?
You tell me you got to wait for part two?
Yeah, and well, I mean, PJ, you want to handle that? I mean,
Big
it's your
reveal.
character, but I mean,
Um,
it's
I'm-
not.
I
It's
won't
not
go- I
really
won't go too in-
anything we're keeping from people.
Yeah, I mean, I won't go too in depth with it, I guess, but that is like, I haven't had anybody say anything um, specifically yet about asking about the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming. It's going to happen. But as far as like all the screenings that we did throughout the entire festival run, like Eric said, that was probably one of the top three questions that someone would ask was, okay, so who exactly is the doctor? Like everybody wanted to know who the doctor was.
Right.
And I would always say, well, it's really not that important. And they hated that answer.
Yeah.
They
Well,
hated that answer.
I forget what festival we were at, but it was a couple of friends walked up, and that was their main question. And the one friend was like, "Oh, I think it's so and so," and the other one's like, "I think it's so and so." And then I think PJ goes, "Well, it really isn't, or it's not." And they're like, "You're kidding me! We got to know who is it." And we're like,
Yeah.
"It's not really. He's a doctor."
Right.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, like it's not it when I say it's not, that's not what's important. It's because, and this is as artsy fartsy as I'll get, but like the doctor very specifically represents something in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So his identity is not, it's not a thing. Like it's not that important. You do kind of get closure.
Mm-hmm.
You do know who he is. You do find out who he is. The problem is we've been so conditioned by whodunits
Right.
that we are expecting when we see a slasher, is it Billy? Is it Stu? Is it whoever?
You keep waiting for the big Scooby-Doo reveal at the end of the
right.
movie.
Yeah.
Is it
Right.
Rebecca Gayheart? Like it's like you want to know who the man behind the mask is, or
Right.
woman.
Right.
And because you don't 100% get what you typically get, which is kind of the other thing about the film. The film is full of tropes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't not make a horror film without peppering tropes throughout. But when I wrote the script, I tried to turn as many of those on their head as I could, so that way you don't know exactly what's coming next. So you do get a lot of things that you're familiar with, but when you're like, we're saying, oh, hey, look here, you end up having to look over here when that's, you were thinking you were going to look here the whole time, and then suddenly you're over here. So
Right.
like that was kind of the whole point. And that was, so the doctor was another one of those. It plays and feels a lot like a whodunit, but it's not exactly a whodunit.
Right. No, yeah, and see, and even that adds to it. It does. Because it's not just cut and dry. It's not,
Right.
this is what it is. In your face, watch it, start to finish. It's not. And that's what I loved
Right.
about it. I did. There is one, I didn't realize that you two had small parts in the film, which I love. I absolutely do. And if I had an award, I would definitely present it to you for the best Dumb and Dumber look. You had, PJ, you had this frozen look on your face that I literally, and I don't really laugh out loud at movies, and I did wholeheartedly, the full Santa belly, hysterically, and you just had this look where you're kind of like, and it just kind of had that Jeff Bridges look from Dumb and Dumber. I'm sorry, yep. Anyway, foot and mouth. That's all.
Right.
We pretty much had a cameo in every one of the movies we've done at some point. Not together,
Right.
but we've been in certain scenes. I mean, it'll be that way the next one as well. We're looking forward to what the next one may bring for our characters.
So, is there anything looking towards the future that we can anticipate probably being the next project?
I mean, so there is a sequel idea. I have it fully fleshed out. I don't have it totally written.
Okay.
I've got about 11 or 12 pages of stuff at this point. But as far as like a full script, I don't have that completed yet. So there is a part two, and it's similar in the sense that it's also going to be a horror comedy, but the set piece like this one, but the set pieces are going to be larger. There's going to be a lot more raunchy humor and American Pie esque set pieces and things like that. Now, whether or not we do that next, I mean, we don't really know. I've always said you don't really know exactly what your next project is going to be and almost until you're on set, because you can plan and say, well, this is what it's going to be. But sometimes, a wrench gets thrown in. We would love to be able to do a sequel, but we want to do it 100% the right way. And in order to do that, it's going to take a more substantial budget to pull it off. So a lot of that, I think, is going to depend on how well this one does. We would love for Cineverse to be more involved, but once again, it's going to take a collective effort of everybody watching the movie, giving feedback, sharing the film if you love it, even if you just like it, telling people about it. And if it grows and it does well enough, then maybe they'll jump on board and get in bed with us, so to speak, and help us pull it off, so to speak.
If we, in my opinion, it's going to happen. If we hit the budget that we need, that we want to go to that next level with our next film, like we always do, and how we want the next film to look and to be, and the things that we're going to have to do to go to that next level. If we get our budget, that's the film we will make. Now, we said that for Volumes of Blood 3, Devil's Night, and didn't hit the budget, and that's where 13 Slaves came from.
Okay.
So, like PJ said, so if we hit the budget that we're looking at, New Fear's Eve 2 I would give you a high percentage that's what's going to happen. But like I said, that's all ifs and buts and whatever. I mean, because it's a much bigger budget, so we could go a little bit better than what we did budget wise on New Fear's Eve and do another film that's better, in a sense. But we want to go to that next level for New Fear's Eve 2, so we would have to hit that mark. So it's a big if, and we'll see. So watch this movie and share it.
You guys have obviously made a lot more movies than I have, and you have learned what finances are what. And you are now dealing with SAG actors who are not just people that volunteer. These are professional actors. And so obviously there's a big chunk of finances that has to go directly to X, Y, and Z, however many actors you might have. Outside of that, just from a general standpoint, what is the largest chunk of finance go to outside of paying talent?
Wow, that's a good one.
I would say special effects.
Yeah, special effects would have to be, because that is, there's so many different things. It's not just buying 5 and 6 gallons of blood.
Right.
I mean, you're buying prosthetics. You're buying stuff to make prosthetics. Whatever makeup they may need, stuff that are like, hey, on the last film, Stephen Hawking kept going, well, I'm going to need this to do this, and I just had a list on Amazon, and he would just add it to the list. Gotcha. And I would look at it and like, good God, what's that? I call it, dude, what's this for? But it was from cotton balls to cotton swabs to latex to blood to colorization stuff for different type of things, and just stuff I wouldn't even have thought of. And I used to dabble in special effects a little bit, but yeah, I mean I would agree with him. It is special effects and then it would probably next would be probably wardrobe and props.
Wardrobe. Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess, see, that's something I never would have thought about, but I guess if you're going to have officers, doctors, people that are in specific uniforms, you've got to have them.
FBI agents.
And then you've got, with thanks to the beautiful city of Owensboro.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There you go.
you've got hospitals, and I love the homage that you pay to that city every movie that you guys make. I really do. So I know that wow, that's a lot to think about. That someone else that's just sitting there watching the movies, people out there that are fans of film and indie film, and even other indie filmmakers that are out there who are dealing on a much lower budget, just starting off and looking at what you guys are producing, and that's something to really think about.
Well, on the wardrobe side, if you want to think about it, to give you kind of an idea what we're talking about, if you remember the opening credits of the movie, it's all in that office. Everybody has a Hooper Industries shirt on,
Right.
and any of the office stuff, they all had Hooper Industries. So we got boxes full of Hooper Industries shirts that had to be purchased. So and then
Right,
those
khaki
people,
pants.
yeah, and khaki pants, and then when those people are out at a bar in a scene, then we have to have wardrobe for them for that as well. Now, some of them did like maybe have a shirt they brought or something. But usually, we bought everything for what everybody needed.
So I'm assuming
So
there's going to be a lot of Hooper T-shirts being put into stockings and underneath the trees this year. You got to use it up somehow.
well, you might see them at concert festivals sitting on a table for sale, maybe.
That would be.
Yeah, we got to find different ways to get rid of them at this point.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Gentlemen, I hate to do this. I truly do. The powers that be with Zoom are telling me that we have a minute and 39 seconds. Please throw whatever out there you want real quick so we can definitely get your movie plugged to everybody.
Hey,
All right.
watch New Fear's Eve is out right now. You can get it on Screenbox. You can get it on Prime. You can get it on Google TV. You can get it on Roku, Plex. Is there another one, PJ?
Fandango at home.
Fandango at home. I forgot that one. I forgot about that one. Screenbox, you can get on
YouTube TV.
YouTube TV and Screenbox right now. If you go to Screenbox, there is a 7-day free trial. I think it's $3.99, so you'll get 7 days, so you can watch all the horror movies on there, plus New Fear's Eve with your free trial.
And keep
I think
watching it so it goes from number 6 all the way to number 1.
Yeah, so make sure that if you do watch it, get on Facebook, let us know what you think. Tell your friends, tell your family, share it. And you can go to bloodmoonpictures.com and there should be a link on there to be able to get to at least Screenbox and Prime maybe.
Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Boys and girls, be sure to sit down and check out New Fear's Eve. Filmmakers PJ Starks, Eric Huskisson joining me once again. Thank you both for coming back. Happy holidays to both of you. Definitely looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. Right. Everybody out there, have yourself a safe and wonderful holiday, and thank you for joining me. And
thank you and Merry Christmas.